It's now time for What's Up Asheville, sponsored by the city of Asheville, with the host, Mr. Sam Parada, and here he is.
Good afternoon, Asheville, and welcome to What's Up Asheville at WRES Radio 100.7 FM, a radio show discussing projects and initiatives of the city of Asheville. I am your host, as usual, ever since Ricardo left us, Sam Parada, Communication and Public Engagement Specialist with the City of Asheville. And today we have another Parks and Recreation employee, Chris Bubenik, and he is the Asheville Parks and Recreation Marketing and Communications Manager. How are you today?
I'm good. Thanks, Sam.
You're welcome. Happy to have you here. Chris works closely with the communications department, but he specializes in everything related to parks. So it's fun to see the other side of, what the city does in terms of outreach and everything related to that. But before we jump into more parks related things, why don't you tell us a little bit more about yourself and what do you do for the city?
Sure. Basically anything that comes out that talks about what Parks and Recreation does. So we've got 10 community centers, over 65 parks. We've been an official department with the city since 1956, but plenty of playgrounds and open spaces and stuff date back before then. And so if there is a program coming out, you see a poster, you see a banner, if you see a commercial, that sort of stuff. It's really fun to do both marketing and communications, because the communications part of what we do is really informing the public. We're very transparent. The public is sort of our guiding star on what we do with neighborhood investments. If we're going to be redoing a playground, or if we're going to be doing a new park like we're going to be doing soon down in South Asheville, there's that information sharing side of things. But then I also get to do fun stuff like design stickers and t-shirts and posters and stuff like that. So it's not necessarily the same as if I was doing information sharing for the tax department or sanitation or something like that, because we are fun. We really want people to explore, connect, and discover on greenways, in open spaces, around activities and programs that we have in our community centers. We really just have so much stuff going on all the time. It's hard to get the word out about everything, because some of it is really specialized and some of it is a little bit more general interest. But we've got a lot of tools in our tool chest. We work closely with other departments within the city of Asheville as well. And so it's just really nice. This is tax dollars at work. We really take that seriously. And we don't think that recreation should be a luxury. If you can't afford to go to Disney World or Dollywood or something like that, you should still have access to some really awesome things to do here at home. And so over the past few years, we've really been upgrading and enhancing the facilities. Thankfully, the people who live inside the city of Asheville voted in 2016 on a $17 million bond referendum. That allowed us to attack a lot of maintenance that hadn't been done on some of our parks in a very long time. And that freed up some money in the general operating budget as well to do some things. And so I know later on we'll talk about some of the upcoming projects that we've got going on, some that maybe just finished as well. But that was really a game changer in a lot of ways. And another game changer that I don't think people may be as familiar with, at the beginning of this year, the city of Asheville created a new department called Community and Regional Entertainment Facilities. And so that took Harris Cherokee Center, Asheville, that's in downtown, and also joined it with the Municipal Golf Course, McCormick Field, Aston Park Tennis Center, and WNC Nature Center. So those last four used to be part of our department, but the city really looked at what we were doing and said, we want this to be about neighborhood level, local community recreation. Things that bring people in from other places, we're going to put that in this department.
A complete separate box.
Exactly. And so we took that as a very good guiding principle. We're funded by the people who live here. We really want the infrastructure that we're building and the things that we're doing to reflect the people who are here and get them involved and just get them moving. I mean, recreation, leisure, parks. It's fun.
Beautifully said. I like what you said, that recreation shouldn't be a luxury for anyone in the community. And I think, every day I feel I see something coming out of the parks communications side. whether it's news about the pools or all the stickers that are all over the place. If you see a sticker about parks, then Chris made it. They're everywhere. And it shows that you're making an effort to really reach parts of the community that are often, not involved. But yeah, let's talk more about some of the programs that you have going right now.
Sure. One of the beautiful things about living here in the mountains of Western North Carolina is that we are in the midst of fall. It just started, but we're already starting to see those leaves change, and we're getting that abundant show where you got oranges, purples, reds, yellows all around. And so I think it's a great time to remind people we've got as temperatures cool, we've got some really awesome indoor things that are happening, like line dancing, fitness center stuff, indoor pickleball and basketball at our community centers, but it's still a great time to be outdoors. And so we are doing a selfie challenge through the end of November. It's called Fall for Asheville Parks and Recreation, or Fall for APR. And basically, we looked at the 65 parks that we have, or the over 65 parks we have, and picked out 15 of them that have some really unique features, and they're spread around town. So you got 3 that are in the central part, 3 in north, south, east, and west. And we want people to visit at least 8 of those before the end of November, snap a selfie and tag us in it and use a hashtag. And then they get a very cool tote. It's this retro-inspired one. It looks very similar to the sticker that people are rocking, that they've been picking up since our program guide came out.
Yes.
And so, it's everything from sports courts to the Friendship Arch that's over at Shiloh, a new bridge on the Greenway. There's just so much new stuff that we've been able to do. And a lot of people discovered it during COVID. A lot of people rediscovered parks. I live really close to some public tennis courts, and prior to COVID, they weren't always used that much, and I've seen such just such an increase in it since then. And so people are finding things, and they may, our goal is that everybody in town has a safe way to get to a high quality park, and that should only be like a few minutes walk from home. We're not there yet, and these are kind of spread out, but they're also mostly on transit lines. They're all accessible, and so this may be a chance for people to discover some new places that they didn't know about. But I think it's a really easy thing to do over 8 to 10 weeks. That's a park a week.
Take a selfie.
Yeah, take a selfie. And if you live in Asheville, since they are, 3 in each location, there should be 3 that are pretty close to you. South is a little bit underserved in that sense, but we recently purchased a little bit over 11 acres of land off of Sweeten Creek Road that will be developed into a future park. And so that's exciting.
That's very exciting.
Yeah, we're sort of in the very early planning stages of it. But yeah, if people go to our website, which is asheville.nc.gov/parks, first of all, they'll find links to all of our programs that are going on right now, but there's also information about the Fall for APR Selfie Challenge. And so I would love to see Instagram, Facebook, filled up with that. If you're not a selfie person, bring a stuffed animal or a sticker or a water bottle or something that just proves that you've been there, and fill it up. And if you're not on social media, I know there's plenty of people who aren't, you can just take your pictures and then show up to Stevens Lee Community Center in the East End neighborhood right off of downtown and show them your 8 or more pictures, and you will get the fun tote. So that all the information is on our website. So
and again, that's asheville.nc.gov/parks.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'll be taking some selfies.
Yeah.
I'll be taking my dogs too. Are they allowed to participate?
They absolutely are. We've got 2 dog parks in our system that are very popular. Actually, with the Best of WNC awards that were just voted on by the readers of Mountain Express, the one that's in French Broad River Dog Park was voted, I think, the number 2 best place to take your dog outdoors. And an exciting thing about that area as well, for a long time, there's been sections of the French Broad River Greenway that haven't connected. Well, now, thanks to the transportation department, so the way that the greenways work in Asheville is the transportation department plans them, funds them, gets them done, and then the maintenance turns over to us because they really are a recreation amenity. So thanks to Lucy Crown in the transportation department, there's now 4 miles of hard surface greenway all the way from Hominy Creek River Park, which is a Buncombe County park, but they're our friends. And it goes all the way to Craven Street Park, which is around like New Belgium. And so you can skate, you can run, you can roll if you've got a bike or a wheelchair or anything like that. And so, again, these are free things that you've got great views of the French Broad River. That particular greenway also goes through Carrier Park, Amboy Road, Riverfront Park, French Broad River Park. So you've got playgrounds. You've got all sorts of things that are along the way, and parking. So if you don't want to do the whole 4 miles, then you park and you do a little bit here and a little bit there.
So accessible, free, and fun is what I'm hearing.
Yes, I mean, again, being able to enjoy your neighborhood and being able to safely connect to businesses, to neighbors, to friends and family, to parks. These are things that aren't out of the ordinary in some communities, and we're really building that network here. It took a little while. We do have some challenges here that you don't have other places in terms of our terrain, and some other challenges, but it's something that's very important, and you can tell that it's a priority with the city of Asheville, not just in our department, but in other ones who are filling in some of those gaps with sidewalks, doing street improvements so that there are places that you can bike and be safe in those places, or you can be a pedestrian and be safe in those places. And so it's sort of all of us working together, but ultimately you've got the recreation side, but you're also connecting people with opportunities to go to schools, to go to the grocery store, to do things like that.
Love it. So outside of the Fall for APR selfie challenge, what else is there?
We've got a couple of things that are coming up in October that I'm excited about. The first one is a Midnight Madness basketball tournament on October 15th. Register now if you want to get in, because there's a limited number of spots and we're already about half filled up. But basically, the winning team's going to get $500. I think that's the biggest selling point for folks, right?
This best incentive.
Yeah, this isn't just like a fun thing, but every team does get a swag bag, a jersey. You get lots of cool stuff with it. But it's just going to be a fun party. It's going to be at Asheville High on October 15th. But you'll have to register in advance if you're on a team. A team of up to 6 people is $50, and it's a 3-on-3 basketball tournament, and it will go from 6 p.m. until right before midnight. And it's really aimed at people who are 16 to maybe 30. But awesome, anybody over 16, absolutely check it out. Again, on our website, ashevillennc.gov/parks.
And what happens at midnight? Is that when the party begins?
I think it's when it kind of
party, but
I think it's kind of when it ends. To be honest, what we have found recently, like other places, there has been an increase in some just some increase in some bad stuff that's been happening, and so we're trying to make more stuff for people to do that gets them out of idle situations. And so I think this is the start to a lot more programming that you're going to see for that 16 to 25 year old age group. Between the time that you get your driver's license and you kind of start your first career in Asheville, there's not a ton of stuff to do. There are parks, and if you're into outdoors or into disc golf or running or something like that, you're probably doing that stuff. But if you're not really into that, or that's just not part of how you grew up, then there just needs to be more organized stuff that's happening. And so we're really looking at the way that we can be part of that conversation, because there's stuff that happens in the schools and there's stuff that happens in other ways. But a lot of times you got really awesome kids who just haven't seen their full potential yet because they're sort of skating by. Maybe it's the kid who's making C's, but they're not the troublemaker and they're not over excelling. They're just sort of coasting. And so they don't get all the attention that they necessarily need. And so we're trying to tap into the creativity of that. We've got a teen playwriting workshop classes going on at the Grant Center. Right now in October, Shiloh is the Linwood Crump Shiloh Community Center is doing Night of the Teenagers, where teenagers just take over within within reason, and they've got access to the games, the gym, the weights and fitness center, all that stuff. So they say, this is what we want, and we're just providing the space for it. So I'm excited that we're starting to develop more stuff for that, because we've been really good for a long time about doing toddlers, families, older adults, but it seems to be that missing link.
Yeah, and I love that you touch up on that, because that is such an important time period for people, coming out of high school. I remember once high school was done for me, I thought, I have all the freedom that I want, but I didn't do anything with it, So finding something to do, it's always so important, keeping your connections with people, staying active. And I think the city should be really proud that we are tapping into that now more than ever. So you have the Midnight Madness, you have arts programs, all that stuff. But I wanted to talk to you about something very important to me, which is, in my opinion, the most inclusive holiday of the year, which is going to happen in October. Mm-hmm. Is there anything happening related to Halloween?
Yes, there is. Thanks for asking.
Good.
Asheville, I think, is a very Halloween town. Mm-hmm. Even when it's not Halloween, people are wearing stuff that
I've already seen houses with Halloween decorations out.
I'm getting ready to do that. I'm sort of one of those traditionalists. I wait until October 1st. But then it is 31 days of absolute mayhem and pretending like I'm someone else. But for years, we have done a really big haunted house at Stevens Lee Community Center, and we've added stuff over the years. And so I'll just run down some of the highlights of what we've got going on. We start on October 21st, about a week out. There's going to be a kooky, spooky Halloween party, which is really for toddlers ages 2 to 5, and that's also at Stevens Lee Community Center. Basically, they take their gym, they turn it orange and black. They've got inflatables, toys, arts and crafts, and snacks. And so this one, there is a charge for it. It's $5 per child. But it's from 10 to 12 a.m. or 10 a.m. to noon on October 21st. And then that same day, that evening, we have one of our skate nights. And so if you've not been to Carrier Park, you are missing out.
You really are.
Yeah. Have you been?
I have been.
All right. So the second and fourth Friday of each month, we have a free skate in the velodrome, which is a very unique thing to have in a park. It's not something you normally find at places, but we have, up to 300 or more people sometimes showing up to this. And so on October 21st, from 6 to 10:30, it will be the Halloween skate spooktacular. So, get your stuff ready now so that on the 21st you can hit it. You do have to bring your own skates, but it's free. And so definitely we'll have a soundtrack of Halloween favorites that's going on. So yeah, start planning now, because I know that there's some people who are going to impress and blow some minds. And then the next day, on October 22nd at Tempe, and that's in Carrier Park, by the way, the skating thing. At Tempe, Avery, and Montford Community Center has an indoor climbing wall in their gym, which has lots of stuff throughout the year that's scheduled on it, and lots of times that you can go and just do stuff for free. But they're going to do Halloween creepy climbing from 6 to 8:30 on that Saturday. There's going to be some glow-in-the-dark stuff, show off your costume, climb for candy. There's going to be lots of games, spooky snacks. All that stuff. Advanced registration is required for that through our website, just because space is limited, but it's free. And then, the big one that people really have grown to love over the years is Haunted Castle on the Hill, which is October 28th and 29th, so that Friday and Saturday before Halloween from 7 to 10. $3 to get in at Stevens Lee Community Center. This one is a little bit scarier, so I'd say probably 10 and up. If you're under 10, unless your kid is already, if they're Halloween trained, maybe they can go through it. But it's a can't miss haunted house that just has lots of things to go bump in the night and lots of thrills and chills. And then a couple of new things that we've got. Well, one of these isn't new. On Halloween night itself, from 6 to 8 at Linwood Crump Shiloh Community Center, is the Halloween Booth Fest, and Booth is BOOTH, so it's sort of like a trunk or treat, where you go through, and there are some not as scary as Haunted Castle on the Hill, but some stuff that younger kids can get into, and to get some candy in a really safe space. Not all of our neighborhoods are truly walkable yet. We're still adding those greenways and sidewalks, but
And it also makes you feel safe. I would imagine, because it's the whole community.
Yeah, and the community center in Shiloh really is the heart of that community. They have a great relationship with the people who've been there for a long time, and so there's also, in addition to our team members, a lot of people from the community help out with that on a volunteer basis. And then the final thing, this is new for this year, so we have changed the name of Senior Opportunity Center down on Grove Street to the Grove Street Community Center, and they have a very awesome greenhouse, and they are hosting the Greenhouse of Horror on Halloween from 4 o'clock to 8 o'clock in the afternoon. And basically, it's a haunted greenhouse. The plants will come alive. I have not seen it yet, but the team there is unparalleled, so I'm sure their creativity will absolutely shine through. And everybody who goes through, and it's free as well, every participant who goes through will receive a plant goodie bag and some refreshments.
Love it. It seems like all of October or Halloween is really well thought out for this year.
There is, and last year we did a Day of the Dead event at Burton Street Community Center, and this year it's not been that. There's a smaller thing that's going on during the day with some of their after-school kids with it, just because of the day of the week that it falls on. However, there is a Hispanic Heritage Celebration on October 21st at Burton Street Community Center, which will have delicious food and a showing of Encanto. So you should definitely check that out. That is 6:30 on October 21st, and it's free for anyone who wants to attend and find out more about Latino and Hispanic culture.
Yeah, I mean, so much to learn.
There is. There's a lot. I know you and I are working on a project to do some translation stuff,
Yep.
and to make a lot of our materials from Parks and Recreation available in other languages. And so we've definitely spoken quite a bit in terms of our backgrounds and everything.
Yeah, we just want to be, make the city inclusive. I think that's just how communities grow better. So if you're Latino or not, show up, have fun, eat food, probably listen to music.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be a party. I don't know if you have ever been to a party that's hosted by Latinos, but they are always fun and colorful and loud. So definitely come out. It's great to see people who aren't from that community enjoying the culture. It's really I enjoy learning about other cultures, and so I think that it's a really great thing for people to come by and just experience it.
Make friends, yeah. You never know who you're going to meet. Thank you for all of that. That's a lot of information, a big, heavy schedule, and I'm gonna have to pick what I want to do, because I used to rock climb. I have done spooky Halloween rock climbing before, and it's a blast, because it just increases the difficulty. Trying to climb dressed as the Scream guy from Halloween or whatever, it's hard, but it's fun. So again, and you can find all of this information on the website.
Yes, all of it's on the website, and those are some of the big community-wide things that are going on every single day of the week. There's stuff happening. We've got 2 community centers that are very focused on older adults. Other community centers that have after-school programs and teen leadership programs and stuff like that. But anything from game nights to line dancing, billiards. Harvest House has a wood shop and a sculpting studio and a weaving studio. There's a cake bake-off that's going on at one of our other ones.
That's right. Yep.
By the time this airs, it might be done. But yeah, there's just so much stuff that's going on. And if you go to any of our events, you get the fun sticker. You just have to register through the website and then show up to the event. But there's definitely something for everyone. We have some amazing people who run our facilities and develop our programs, and they're guided by the community. The community says, we want to do this, we go for it. We really see our community centers as neighborhood hubs, as the place that people can feel safe and they can feel connected, whether they live in an apartment that doesn't have, an actual backyard, or if they, have a yard and stuff like that. It's just a great place for people to play games and to do all these things that I feel like we started doing again during COVID. And of course, we're still living sort of in that, but as things have opened up again, we were maybe not doing as much of those like cooking and games and just sitting around and getting to know each other or know ourselves. And so I would love that my job is promoting all these things that are happening, because there's just so much of it, and there really is something for everyone.
Yeah, and that's what really matters, liking what you do because you do it well. So, to anyone listening, you're in good hands when it comes to any sort of activities, parks, all of that. Sadly, we have so much to talk about, but we just don't have the time. To finish things up, do you want to talk about neighborhood investments?
Yes, and so most of that $17 million bond money has been used at this point, but there are still so many more projects to do. And so many people may have heard recently about Memorial Stadium and Mountainside Park. We are adding a 6-lane track, which will be another unique amenity similar to the Velodrome, a place that people can walk, people can jog. You don't have access to these types of tracks in public parks in a lot of places. We are sort of in the middle of the engagement project around, we're head down to Herb Watts Park. We just did rubberized surfacing and added some new equipment to it. But in the same neighborhood down there on Southside, Dr. Grant Wesley Senior Southside Center is getting a major expansion. Walton Street Park right up the street. We've just sort of finished up a round of engagement. We're starting to do some design on the redevelopment of the recreation parts of it, the historic designation for the pool and the pool house. And then we just started engagement around Burton Street, similar to Walton Street. We've got about $500,000. And so we're talking to the folks there and saying, what do you want to see in that park around the community center? And the great thing is they've been talking. They know, they know as soon as we show up, yes. How we can spend that money.
And more information to come in all of this, because it's an ongoing process. So
it is, and every project is different. Every neighborhood is different. But if you want to be part of it, definitely, again, go to the website, asheville.nc.gov/parks. We want to be as transparent as possible. We want as much input as possible from people on how to be good stewards of the resources that they're allowing us to use.
Yes, I love that you touched up on that, because the city, again, we want to be transparent. We want to hear from you. Sometimes it's difficult to get a point across, and keep in mind that not every project can have enough feedback, but when we do want that feedback, we want to listen to you and use it. So once again, my bi-weekly advertisement of Your Voice, Your Choice. Come to our website, asheville.nc.gov, and go to the engagement section. You can sign up, you can select the projects that you're interested in. You can just speak out, and because we do want to hear you. All where we are right now, all the park projects, the activities, they are here because we have listened to feedback. So it's very important for us as a city, as an entity, to create things for you, but we cannot do it without you.
Absolutely. Yeah, we have to hear from you, and we are trying to make it as easy as possible to get involved.
Yes, I know not everyone has access to the internet, so some people might not, benefit from this, but, we're just trying to get as much as we can out there.
Yeah, and so whenever we've got a project going on at that community center, or whatever community center is the closest to that park, we have all that information there too, so people can sit down and talk. Because a lot of times people, we anticipate questions, but people have other questions.
Yeah, exactly. So, come out, talk to us, enjoy the activities. Most of them, I don't want to say most of them, but some of them are free. Yeah,
the majority of them are free, and the ones that do have a cost associated with them are really low cost. We don't want that to be a barrier, and so even if $3 is a barrier to go into the Haunted Castle on the Hill, reach out to us and we'll make it happen so that that's not a barrier anymore.
Mm-hmm. Well, thank you so much, Chris. Sadly, we're out of time, and I know we could keep talking about this forever. And this is just the month of October, so how often do you update the website?
The website is updated on a continual basis. Our fall program guide came out about a month ago, and so that is on our website. You can look at it as a flip book, or you can search it digitally. You can also stop by any of our community centers and pick one up. And I also want to mention, as we're talking about free things, all of our fitness centers, the memberships are free through June. So if you're looking to do like weights or classes or something like that, absolutely. Like we've got one at Linwood Crump Shiloh and one at Stevens Lee, and they are state of the art. They've been updated.
Great. Well, you heard it from Chris. Free workouts until June, you said?
Yeah, through the end of June.
Yep. Well, thank you so much, and thank you for listening, and we'll be back in hopefully 2 weeks. I know we've had some issues with the scheduling, but we want to make sure that we get you some good information out, and remember to visit our website, just become involved, participate, and we will see you next time in WRES 100.7 FM. Thank you.
You've been listening to What's Up Asheville, sponsored by the City of Asheville in collaboration with WRES 100.7 FM. This program will re-air every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 12:30. Thank you for listening.